This is exclusive right now. I'm starting the podcast live. This is exclusive stuff right now. With some Pop Smoke.
Are you dumb? Look, you don't know what you started.
Hello and welcome to the G Money Podcast. I am your host, Gennaro Scampone. We are in my basement and we are live, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode number 2. I'm very excited to be with you here tonight. I'm looking forward to talking about the different topics that we have, and we are live. It is officially Woo Back Wednesday. It is officially episode number 2. Episode number 1 is on YouTube. If you just search G Money Podcast on YouTube, you will find it. There's like 2-3 guys before me, and then you'll find my video, but we're going to surpass them pretty soon here. I think they're called the G Podcast. I should have copyrighted that initially, but we're the G Money Podcast, and that's what differentiates us from them. So go ahead and look it up on YouTube. It's also on SoundCloud if you look up G Money Podcast on SoundCloud. I have to figure out a way to get it onto Spotify and onto Apple Podcast. I'm not quite there yet. We're getting there. We're working towards it, but I'm not there yet, and that's fine. I sent the YouTube video to my mom today for her to look at it. That was pretty cool. And we're here and we're live. So a little recap on episode number 1. We talked about COVID. We talked about stimulus checks. We talked about high school kids. We talked about Twitter trending topics. So specifically, I spoke about COVID. And I laid into COVID a little bit. My issue was that we aren't healthy enough to control the virus and that we need to diet and exercise with our bodies more. And I still believe in that. The problem is that I tested positive for COVID. So you're here and you're live with a COVID positive person right now. I've been going 28 weeks strong with COVID test. I've had 14 tests negative. I was 14 for 14 negative tests. I was really feeling good. And then on my 15th test, comes back positive. I feel great right now. I feel very healthy. I remember when Trump had COVID and he was like, I feel great. I feel better than I ever have. And I was like, look at this guy. But now I'm here and I feel great and I understand where he's coming from. Maybe this is my spin on it, is that maybe my immune system saw the virus coming inside and accelerated everything. And so I feel great. I don't know. It could be a false negative. I also went to go get a rapid test after that and it came back negative. But I'm hearing that the rapid tests aren't as accurate as the regular tests. I'm still learning about that. So I've been inside my house. It's a weird feeling. Usually I feel guilty from staying inside the house too long. Usually I feel like I need to go out there and get to work. But now that I can't, I'm chilling. This is pretty cool. I'm chilling right now. So yeah, I know that I understand that other people are infected and react to COVID differently on a case-to-case basis. I am lucky enough that I have had no symptoms from it. But, initially when I got the news that I did test positive for COVID, it was humbling. It was definitely humbling. Life has a certain way about it that it humbles people, specifically me in my life experience. I feel like right when I'm invincible, bang, life comes and hits me over the head. And I appreciate it for that because sometimes I need to be put back down in my seat. So I was feeling a certain type of way about testing positive for COVID. I didn't think it could happen to me. I'm healthy. I eat well. I exercise frequently, and I thought that I was invincible, and I'm not. But I feel good and I feel great. So if you go back to my COVID rant on my previous podcast, you will see me speaking about COVID, and I still believe in that. I still do believe in what I said, that we need to be overall healthier and eat better, and I'm going to stick with that. But I feel great. So today is Woo Back Wednesday. I've said that about 45 times now. I'm really driving it home. It's a very important day to me. People are wondering, what is Woo Back Wednesday? So Woo Back comes from the artist, the rap artist Pop Smoke, rest in peace. He's no longer with us. He was killed. But I learned from Pop Smoke because my players, my athletes, they used to put him on in the weight room. And first I started joking around with him, like, who's this now? Duh baby, this baby, that baby, pop this, pop that, Pop Smoke. And then I started to listen to Pop Smoke more, and I was like, man, this guy's awesome. I love him. So he has some different things that he likes to put out to his audience and his fans. And one of them is the Woo Back Wednesday. And that's what we are at today. I always talk to my players about Woo Back Wednesday. I like to talk about different days like Woo Back Wednesday, Feel Good Friday, things like that, just to add some spice to the week. So every Wednesday will be Woo Back Wednesday, and we're here and we're live, and we are now on to the Woo Back Wednesday. So what's the woo to me? What is the woo? The woo to Pop Smoke is something completely different than me. I think the woo to Pop Smoke might be like his clique or something like that, affiliated with that. But the woo to me is the unknown. It's the quiet confidence. Imagine yourself a hunter-gatherer. Your family in your village is waiting for you to come back with some food. You're alone in the woods. The fog is taking over everything, but there's a quiet confidence. You have to survive, and you have to provide for your family. When I think about the woo, I think about being in the fields with a weapon, ready for my next meal. So basically, the woo is a quiet confidence that you have amongst yourself that nobody really knows about. And it's a driving force behind all your decisions. And it's there and it's amongst everybody. It's built into your DNA. It's built inside of you to advance. There's nothing you could do about it. The woo is inside of you. So I tell people all the time to trust the woo. And I mean that. Life can throw a lot of different things at you. Your anxieties could come and overtake your life. But there's that quiet woo that's always sitting there. It's in the gut of your stomach. It's in your mind. It motivates you to do everything that you do. And it ain't going away. It's always going to be there. You always got to believe in it. You always got to trust in it. The woo is the driving force behind all of your decisions. And it's going to remain there. And you got to believe in it. So right when I heard Pop Smoke going, that just spoke to me. You know, I like people that bring their own swagger and their own style to something that they're trying to deliver. You know, I like that with people in leadership and artists, teachers, coaches. I like when they bring their own swag, their own drip, their own sauce to the table. Pop Smoke did that in music. He was very simple in his message, but the aura that he had around him and the way he carried himself and the music he made, it represented more than just words. I've always liked that with leadership and with people. If you can come to the table with your own genuine swag, I'll get behind that than somebody who can speak about leadership and be very proper and use big words. I like to feel it. I like to have someone bring the sauce and the swag to the table when it comes to leadership. That's why I like hip hop so much, is they deliver a message that's from out the gutter, which I do appreciate and I do like that. But they put their own swagger on it and they make sure they have an emphasis on it. So if you're, as much as I read about leadership and I watch YouTube videos and I try and study leadership, the more that I realize that I just need to be myself all the time and bring that drip, bring that swagger to the table. People will get behind that more than they will a certain type of leadership technique. So I always really like that. And I use that with anybody that I'm around. in any sort of scenario, regardless of what it is, I want to be genuine in that setting, and I want to bring some swagger and some life to it. And I think people are impacted more so when I do that. And I've implemented that into my job, my coaching, anything that I do in this podcast right here. You know, I don't want to sit up here and be proper. I want to be goofy and funny and bring some swag to the table. That's my goal. I'm going to continue to do that, and hopefully it comes off genuine to you people. And I appreciate all the listeners for being here. If it wasn't for the listeners, I wouldn't be here. So I'm glad that you're all here and you're all listening. I'm hoping you're sticking with it and you bringing the swag to the table. So when I'm dealing with my kids, when we're exercising, I like music in the background. I like to set the setting and the vibe so that you can execute to be your best. And I have a couple different exercise philosophies. Normally when I'm working with kids, I like to have it fun for them. I like to make sure that they're moving. But recently I read a book, and here's the book right here. It's called Body by Science. Check it out. Basically, Body by Science, I might as well. Doug McGuff. Doug McGuff is his name. He's got YouTube videos. Doug McGuff. Body by Science. And his whole philosophy is that in order to make growth, muscle growth on your body, that you need to apply an intense enough workout that the woo is interrupted. Your woo is thrown off. Your woo, it's so intense of a workout that your woo is going, whoa, what is this? I need to be better. And then your body adapts to that. So what he does is he focuses on the muscle group, and he does one set until failure, and he wants your body to go fight or flight. Because without the fight or flight, he believes that your body is not going to adapt and respond. So you need to shock your system, shock your muscles, and shock the woo to the point where your body needs to adapt. And that to me just made so much sense. So I started doing it, 2 months ago maybe. And the workouts are uncomfortable. The workouts take 12 minutes. You hit about 5 or 6 different exercises, one set, and you work till failure. On your chest, on your back, on your legs. You work till failure, and then you take 7 days off. Because you can't go again because your body is recovering. So it's such an intense workout, but it's a short workout, that it takes 7 days for your body to recover. And you want it to recover fully before you go at it again. And I never thought about it like that. I've always been the functional strength guy, and more reps and more sets and hour workouts. I don't go past an hour. We really don't do more than 2 days a week with my guys. But I started to do this, and it made an impact right away. You're in the gym for 15 minutes. You're working on 5 or 6 different exercises. You're doing one set to failure. You're disrupting the woo. Then the woo gets thrown all out of whack and comes back and says, all right, I'm never going to let this happen again. I'm going to be better. And your body adapts and you build muscle. And in order to get more explosive, you need more muscle. So people, they buy into the thought of doing explosive workouts. Yeah, but if you don't have the muscle to be more explosive, you'll never get there. So you need to build more muscle in that way. Check it out, Body by Science. Try it out sometime. Go into the gym, pick a chest press workout, and do it till failure and do one set. And right when you think that you can't move it anymore, stick it and hold that there. Hold it for 5-10 seconds. Let it down. Wash that station up. We're COVID friendly here. And go to the next station and try it out. So that led me to, this is how I get into different philosophers and different scientists and people and different coaches. Is I listen to one guy, read about one guy. He leads me to another guy, a girl. I read about them. They lead me to another guy, a girl. And then the cycle just continues. So Doug McGuff led me to Mark Sisson. And I've never been a diet guy. I've really never been a diet guy. I'm an Italian guy. I come from an Italian family. Both my parents are very, very good cooks. So I've eaten very well my whole life. My fiance Alexis is a fantastic cook. We just got done having mini Zaz, AP's mini Zaz. They were fantastic. Check them out, AP's mini Zaz. But so I've always eaten whatever I wanted to. I've had a good metabolism my whole life. But now I read about Doug McGuff, and then I picked up another book. Let me get that out for you. The Primal Blueprint by Mark Sisson. See, the problem, I don't know if you guys can see this, but the problem is that this is backwards right now as you're reading it. But it reads The Primal Blueprint. I don't know how to make it so it can see me, but whatever. We're past that. Anyway, I'm kind of a primitive person by nature. I like being out in nature a lot. If I can go and be homeless for a week, I would definitely take up that challenge. If anybody wants to sponsor me to go and be homeless for a week, I will record the whole thing and I will put it on YouTube. That's always been something of interest of mine, to see if I can make it being homeless for a week. I also want to go and hang out with the Amish people. I'd like to go and spend another week with the Amish people. So maybe if I could do 1 month I'm homeless, next month I'm with the Amish. I don't know if they let me in. Maybe they let me in if I have a camera. But I'm going to try it out. Either way, I've always been interested in survival, things like that. So I picked up this book called Primal Blueprint. I mean, I can't even say that. I don't know if anybody could even say that. He might have to work on the title of his book. But anyway, it's a good book. Basically, the idea behind the book is that you're a hunter-gatherer. Imagine your lifestyle as a hunter-gatherer. You're out in the woods. You're not going to go and get pizza, although I just had AP's Mini Zaz. You're not going to go and get rice. You're going to go and either hunt something or you're going to pick something, some sort of vegetable or fruit. So he said you should base your whole diet around that, because we have advanced throughout time, that humans been alive by doing just that and eating like a hunter-gatherer. And then over time, we started to harvest. We started to have these mega plants and build everything that way. And now we are eating McDonald's and eating AP's Mini Zaz. So I started eating healthy. You know, I would eat fruit. I'd eat vegetables. I'd stay away from the grains. I'd stay away from the dough. I'd stay away from the carbs. And I lost weight very quickly. Very quickly. I got down to 165 pounds. I don't know what I am right now, but I've got to be close. I've never really been 165 pounds in my life. And I got to that point, and I was like, wow, okay, this diet works pretty well. On top of the Body by Science book, I put those two together and made a little workout for myself, and it's been fantastic so far. I gotta say, eating salad a lot is good for the first 2 weeks. You feel great, but then it gets a little bit boring. But if you could be disciplined and stick with that, you will see results immediately. So just imagine yourself in the woods. What are you going to do? You're going to go and find some fruit. You're going to find some vegetables. You can eat meat. I do eat eggs and things of that nature. You should definitely try it out, because it worked well for me and it was very simple for me to do. Swipe up, 15% off AP's Mini Zaz. So we're on the podcast and we're also live. So there's two things going on at once right here for me right now. So I'm going to go refer back to here. Swipe up, 15% off. Anything that you want. Anything that you want. Swipe up. Homeless G. Yeah, that's me. Love the za. The beard will only get you so far. I'll just grow the beard out. I'll grow the beard out. If it means that I can go and live with the Amish, I'll grow this thing out like this. Maybe that's the idea, is you can smuggle me in. I can be an Amish person. I could pretend to be an Amish person and go and live with them for a week. I'll have to get some sort of like mini camera, but I can make that work. Anybody got a mini like secret camera that I could clip onto myself and go and live with the Amish? We don't have to go far. They're right up the street. I can do that. I think I'm going to try that out. So let's see here. We are doing well so far with the podcast, with the Instagram Live. It's going good so far. It's Woo Back Wednesday. I appreciate everybody. Happy Festivus. I hope everybody likes my hat and my shirt. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. It's going to be a little bit of a different Christmas Eve, especially for me because I have COVID and I can't go and hang out with my family. But I'd really like to do that. Last year, we were going up to Alexis's parents' house for Christmas Eve, and I'm going to do this live. I got to go and stoke the fire a little bit. I can't have a fireside chat without having a good fire. So just bear with me really quick. Bear with me. You trying to tell me I can't be Amish? Look at that. Let me move this a little bit. Okay, so Christmas Eve is tomorrow. And I remember back in the day going to my grandfather's house, my whole family, there'd be like 50 people at my grandfather's house, so much food, presents, literally taking up the entire living room. My grandfather was always good about, maybe I got the woo from him, because he was always good about setting a good vibe for any sort of family parties or events. Probably got the woo from him. But anyway, and then it kind of faded away. The old hanging out with a family, big, huge party, it kind of faded over time. I don't know whether that's because I don't have a family of my own right now. Maybe you transition from being a kid, being with your family, having a great time for Christmas Eve. There's this little area right now that it's like, you're hanging out with your family, but not everybody's there. Everybody's in different locations around the country. Maybe it comes back. The joy of it all comes back once you have kids. I don't know. Anybody out there has kids? Can they agree with that? Yeah. I'm going to have an episode. I am going to have an episode that I'm live with the goats. Absolutely going to have it. But I'm wondering if the joy and the fun of Christmas, like you used to experience it back in the day, eventually comes back when you have kids. I don't know. I'll get back to that. But maybe this is good for us. Again, I'm trying to be optimistic with the whole COVID situation. Christmas getting a little bit mundane. Maybe we're too focused in on overdoing everything, and we're locked into making sure that we get the right gifts and get enough gifts for everybody. Maybe it is good that we have a little bit of reset and need to be humbled. Maybe we need to be humbled, and that Christmas joy will come back. Right now, it seems a little bit fake. I'm trying to bring it back. You see this? See this shirt? This is my favorite shirt. I had this shirt for 10 minutes, my favorite shirt. But I'm trying to bring the Christmas spirit back some way, somehow. I hope everybody has a good Christmas Eve. I hope that you do get a chance to go and spend it with your family, eat a lot of food. Refer back to the Mark Sisson diet, the primitive primal blueprint diet. After Christmas Eve, that would be a better opportunity to do so. But you can pig out for Christmas Eve. But either way, me and Alexis, we're going to be here, and we are going to be live, and we're going to be having a great Christmas. Me, Alexis, and Dutch. I'm looking forward to it, even though the family is kind of sad that we're not going to be around. But we'll have great Christmas. Next Christmas is going to be popping. I want to do a couple shout-outs right now. There is I said last podcast that I'm going to shout out some people and some side hustles. I see everybody on their grind, so I'm going to shout you out. The first place I want to shout out, so I went back and forth with this one, whether I want to actually let the people know about this place or not, because I don't want anybody to know about this place. I wanted to keep it a secret. But it's called Gilbertsville Farm, and it is a glamping location. I don't know if anybody's been glamping before, but it is fantastic. And again, man, I just need to be outside. I need to be out in the woods. But anyway, you go to this place, and they built these tents made out of canvas and wood. And it was a couple's retreat. Me and Alexis went there. We went in November. And you got a fireplace inside of this tent. And you got pretty much people coming to serve you every second of the day. They have it catered. They have fancy dinners. They have the whole agenda planned out for you for the weekend. But it was a fantastic time. I don't know if anybody's ever been glamping, but you should definitely try it. Because if you have a significant other that doesn't really want to stay in a tent, like Alexis, you just go glamping, and it's best of both worlds. So this place was called Gilbertsville Farm. Apparently, it was a family from downstate. They had an idea to move to upstate, which I think a lot of more people are going to do. And they bought a farm and built a glamping site on there, and it was amazing. I had a really great time. So I'm shouting them out right now. The Side Hustle. It's strong, baby. The next shout out I'd like to give is, so coaching football, I've met a lot of people, a lot of coaches and a lot of players. You meet incredible people through sports. Incredible, amazing people through sports. Some of my favorites, some of my favorite people in the world have been through coaching. But these two guys, Nick and Mal, they have their own show. It's called the Nick and Mal Show. I'm shouting them out right now. They kind of influenced me to try out my own podcast just from watching them guys. So Nick and Mal both played football at Utica College. Malcolm Stowe is his name, Mal for short, Nick Johnson, and they were great kids at UC. I got closer to Malcolm than I did Nick. Him and I had a couple interactions. I knew he was an intelligent person just on those couple interactions. I knew he had some woo to him. And then Malcolm is one of my all-time favorite kids that I've ever met. Good football player, quiet kid, but was funny as heck. We would be in the warm-up line, and I'd just go and sit there and listen to him talk, and this kid was hilarious. And then they made a show. They ended up making a podcast. It's called The Nick and Mal Show. Find it on YouTube. Pretty funny. But I just thought I'd give them a shout because they influenced me, whether they knew it or not, to try this out. Two funny kids. It's pretty incredible how many people you can meet through coaching and through sports, and those are two individuals, and I like to watch them work. I like to watch their videos. They're funny, intelligent kids. They bring the swag along with them. They're both leaders in their own sense, but they got the drip. Gotta respect people with the drip. And then last but not least, the shirt I was going to wear before this shirt, was a Nail Creek shirt. It's a fantastic Nail Creek shirt. If anybody knows me, they know that I love Nail Creek. I don't like going in public. I don't like going to public places where I know a lot of people. And I don't want to sound like an asshole in that way, but I like to be with the people that I go with, and that's about it. I tend to be more on the introverted side. I know that's might be surprising to some people, but I like to keep to myself for the most part. And so I try and find places that are kind of low-key. And Nail Creek is a gold mine. It's a low-key place. It's on Varick Street. It's kind of a hippie bar. I don't really know many people there except the bartenders and the people that I go with. And it is got the best vibe. It's got the best woo. It's got great craft beer. I don't know if you've ever been there, but if you're looking for a low-key type of night with a good atmosphere, it's a little bit dingy inside there, but the dingy makes the beer taste better. When the beer tastes better, you feel better while you're in there. So go in there, try it out. It's Nail Creek. It's on Varick Street. I said I was going to do some shout-outs and run some ads. Swipe up for 30% off Nail Creek and go and try it out. Tell them G sent you. They won't know who I am because I don't think they know my name, but tell them G sent you. And that is it for my shout-out. Hello? Are we still here? And that's it for my shout-outs. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that maybe next time your side hustle will get shout-out. AP's Mini Zaz got the shout-out too. So I want to talk a little bit football quick. I've been diving into the NFL draft because that's definitely an interest of mine. I'm going to make 3 hot takes live on this podcast right now. One of my first hot takes is Mac Jones is going to be QB3, the quarterback out of Alabama. I think he's a stud. People have been overlooking him. I've been got my eye on him since Tua left, and he has been blowing it up. Kid sits well in the pocket, throws a good football. He's a winner. He's a competitor. I think all these other guys don't play in the SEC. They don't play in the SEC. To me, it's going to go Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields. I think Fields is going to drop a little bit here, but he's still a stud. And then Mac Jones. You heard it here first. Mac Jones, QB3. The next hot take I'm going to take in the NFL draft is Micah Parsons, who's the linebacker of the decade. He is going to be overrated. I watched his film. I have kind of a personal vendetta against him because there was some news that came out that he was involved in this big hazing thing, and I'm not going to accuse him of that, but Penn State, to me, usually where there's smoke, there's fire there in that program. So if you're the best player in the world and you're a competitor and you're a winner, you don't got to go do all that and do hazing. So I don't really like him to begin with. And then I watched his film. think he's a little bit overrated. Micah Parsons, you're going to hear a lot about him for all the football fans. People are going to say he's the linebacker of the decade. I just don't see it. If you want to go and look at it, go see YouTube, Micah Parsons. I just don't see it. So he's a little bit overrated. I hope the Miami Dolphins don't take him. The next one is Najee Harris. That boy is different. Running back from Alabama, that boy's different. I don't care. I know you're not supposed to take running backs early in the draft, but he's going to bring wins to your football team. He's going to bring the woo to your football team. That's a man that you got to draft early on. So if anybody wants me to break down some film for them, watch some NFL draft picks, give them my feedback on it, you let me know. I love breaking down film. Got a good eye for talent. So let me know about that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 2 of the G Money Podcast. This is the time we are going to take a little break. I'm going to log off of the Instagram Live. It's been an absolute pleasure being with you. We're going to come back to the podcast. Everybody, thank you. We are here and we are live. See you later, Instagram Live. Bye-bye.
I do this for suffering children and checks from government buildings. A dope boy who made a check from other than dealing. What a good feeling when they know you 1 in a million. The feds bury half of my niggas under the building. Don't judge my life now, nigga, cause I've been mad stressed. On tour with the locks and had a project address. Before this rap shit on my down.
Hello, and we are back from intermission. I just want to take this time out to thank all of the listeners. I appreciate you very much for taking the time out of your day to listen to G Money talk about shit. It's been a pleasure to be here with you. Even though that we can't talk back and forth and it's just mostly me talking to myself, I really enjoy our time together. So we're going to transition to a segment here called the Woo Video of the Week. I want to show you guys a little clip, a little snippet about someone or something or some video that exemplifies having the woo. Just a little bit of information before I show you this video. This is Alabama football. One of their offensive linemen, number 69, got injured in a game. Any lineman that has the balls to go out there with number 69 is you got to be a good football player to do that. And this kid was a good football player. But he got injured in the game, and it looked like a pretty bad injury to his knee. The playoffs start next week, so it was a very emotional moment for him. But this is what I mean about having the woo. Watch one more time, real quick. Okay, so it's the unspoken. It's the known. The woo is the known. And you could see that on the football field there. One guy goes down and the entire team comes over and taps his helmet. And he's showing love to every single person that comes and taps his helmet because there's a bond there. There's a connection there that goes beyond anything that we know. And that is the woo. And that team has the woo. To see all those guys come off the sideline for one guy. All those kids from all over the country. White, black, Hispanic, rich, poor. They all rally together for one purpose. It's because they got the woo inside of them. And it's the driving force behind it all. And right when I saw that video, I was just moved by it. Because in today's society, you see more conflict than anything else. And that was a rally. That brought power to that team. And that's kind of what we need right now in our society. The conflict everybody is seeing is dividing us further. We need more of the woo. keeps us together. We're all interconnected. If you hate that person across from you, you hate yourself. We're all a part of the woo. We're all a part of the big plan. So that was the woo video of the week. I'm hoping to have that segment more often. As we get further on in this podcast with more episodes, we're going to have more reoccurring themes, more reoccurring segments. Right now, we're going to touch on a different segment that we had last week. This segment is called Twitter Trending Topics, where I will just take a look at Twitter and rattle off some of the top trending topics. I don't know what they are. I'm going full freestyle right now. I have no idea what they are. So I'm going freestyle for you right now. Right here. Manafort. President Trump pardons former campaign chairman Paul Manafort, who was convicted as part of Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 U.S. election. So I don't really know what a pardon is. I had to ask one of my buddies what it was last week, and I figured out that it is a basically get out of jail free card. So President Trump is giving those out all the time right now, and apparently this guy got it too. I just don't understand. How can you be in office and be in a position of leadership when you're eventually going to need a pardon? But that just goes to show you a little bit about where we're at right now. And honestly, I can't even say right now because that's been a part. Doing criminal things in political positions has been a part of our society for a very long time. So I can't even say that it's just current right now because it's not. And it's just going to keep happening over and over again. And at some point in time, you either look at it and you say to yourself, meh, just happens all the time, or you try and change it. But man, is that a big undertaking, trying to change that, the corruption in politics. Good luck with that. Okay, the next Twitter trending topic is going to be Spotify. Let's see what this is. Okay, so apparently Spotify has created a bot that critiques your taste in music and kind of roasts you. AI bot, created by online publications, The Pudding, which roasts your music taste by judging your Spotify listening history. Let me just tell you something. I'm an Apple Music guy. I don't use Spotify, so shout out to Apple Music. But Spotify AI bot, you're not about to come at me about my music selection. Because you can't. It's too fire. It's too good. There's no way you could roast me in that. I'm too versatile, too dynamic. These ears, they hear the best of the best. You're not going to be able to roast me. I don't care if you're AI. But either way, you can't because you're Spotify and I'm an Apple Music guy. Apple Music at some point in time is going to have to create something similar to that because Spotify does the year-end options and they also do this new AI bot who roasts you for your music selection. So at some point, Apple Music is going to have to respond in some way. I'm looking forward to that. Apple Music, if you try creating one of these bots, they're not going to be able to press me like that. Music is too good. Take a look at my Apple Music. It's too good. It's too good. Not going to do that. Okay, last Twitter trending topic is Happy Holidays. More people. Ooh, let's see here. The actor Kirk Cameron ignores directives from health officials to host another maskless caroling event at a Southern California mall as the region deals with a surge in COVID-19 cases. All right, if you want to have your own way about taking on COVID, fine. Publicly having a maskless event is pushing the envelope a little bit. Like, I get it, you want to stand for your rights and everything like that, but literally going out there without wearing a mask when wearing a mask is very simple and it's a caroling event. You're taking away from the Christmas joy and you're almost making a public statement about it. When caroling should bring joy and happiness to everybody, now you're making it more about politics. And I don't appreciate that. And I don't like the fact that he's going out there without masks on and he's convincing people to do the same. I am not a mask snitch. I'm never going to be that way. I don't think you should go caroling without a mask on right now. I mean, you're going to be Bah, 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 bah. You're gonna be spitting all over those people that are coming into the mall, and your germs are gonna go all over them. Bad idea. Mark that one off. Try again later. There you have it for Twitter trending. That is going to be the final segment of the G Money Podcast, episode 2. I hope you have all enjoyed your time here tonight. I am going to put this live onto YouTube and onto Instagram because I don't know yet how to put it on Spotify or how to put it on Apple Podcast. Up until that point, you can find it on YouTube, G Money Podcast. GMONEY or $, or just look me up on Instagram, GScamp26. You can find me there. I have many different videos to go with that. I hope everybody has a great Christmas, whether you're home by yourself, with your significant other, or with your family. Enjoy yourself. Take a couple days off. Drink some vino like I am tonight. And have a great time. Until next time, it's been a pleasure. It's been a joy. And I will see you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are out. The G Money Podcast. Until next time, goodbye.